Well, the government has dismissed reports alleging that members of its cabinet are corrupt following renewed media attention on an ongoing 1.17 billion naira corruption case. The controversy stems from a statement by the Commissioner for Community and Rural Development, Abdulkadir Abdulsalam, who reportedly admitted authorizing the payment while serving as Accountant General. Investigators from the anti-graft agency had described the payment as fraudulent. But the State Commissioner for Information and Internal Affairs told journalists in Kano that Abdulsalam's statement was made years ago during an investigation by the ICPC and is now being misinterpreted as new. So, to discuss more on this, we're joined by journalist and activist Bello Galadanchi. Bello, you're welcome. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much, Mazino. Nice to be on the show.
Yeah. So how do you assess the Kano State government's denial in light of the 1.17 billion naira corruption allegation?
It's not just sad, but unfortunate. Trying to harass, intimidate, and even arrest the journalist who all he did was look at this EFCC report and publish the findings. So this is a government that came on and said the previous APC government is very corrupt. They've cited different instances, which some are caught on video, which we've all seen, or many of us have seen, and they vowed and promised to be something different. However, all the things that they've been accusing the previous government right now, they are just coming out one by one, like, allocating lands almost illegally, fraudulent just transactions, and so many different, harassment and things like that. And now this one here, it's very clear. It's very clear. This is a EFCC and ICPC investigation. And it's very obvious that these people have actually spoken to the investigators, and there are, statements, written statements, which we all have, and we've published how the money was moved, from Kano State account, which is a UBA account, into a Kazo Nazo or Nam Naukune concept, which is supposed to be a Bureau de change. By the way, those Bureau de changes do not have certification, so that's illegal. Also, Nigerian laws prohibit any transaction for a single individual for more than $4,000 and an organization or company more than $10,000. So here you have two Bureau de changes who do not have certification, and also the transaction is a lot more than what is legally allowed. So all of these are illegalities. And then these monies were given cash to Wangali Mohammed, who took it to the Abdullahi Rogo, who is the governor's aide. So this here is an open and shut case. This is corruption, this is fraudulency, and this is what they've been accusing the previous government of doing, and now they're doing it. Instead of acknowledging mistake or trying to correct what they're doing wrong, no, they decide to harass, try to arrest, and also sue the publisher. This is what's going on in Kano right now.
Okay, so do you think this political interference actually points to the fact that the claim might be true? Is that what you're saying?
Can you repeat the question if you don't mind?
I asked if you think that the political interference with which you're talking about, the interference generally of which you're speaking of or talking about, do you think that it points to perhaps maybe the fact that this might be true, that the claim of these stolen monies are true?
It's not might be true. Already it's confirmed. The people who actually were part of this criminal have spoken to EFCC and have given statements, written statements, which we actually have. And if you like, I can provide that to you if you want to do a follow-up. But it happened. They took money from the state account, sent it to Bureau de change, and then Bureau de change gave dollars, and he took these dollars to Abdullahi Rogo in Asokoro. But what is really troublesome here is when Abdullahi Rogo was asked to come and provide a statement, he quickly ran to the court. And ran to the court and said his human rights were violated, and the court should give an order to stop this investigation. And what really makes me fume is our judiciary has been destroyed to the point where a judge actually granted this order. So EFCC and ICPC cannot continue to investigate Abdullahi Rogo. If he didn't do anything wrong, he should go and answer the questions. He should listen to them, but no. And then the governor, unfortunately, Abdulkadir Yusuf said, yes, he knows about this, and he believes that Jafar should be investigated, the publisher. All he did was took a report by EFCC and ICPC and turn it into a news article.
Okay, then, Bello.
Looking for a scapegoat.
Bello,
Yes.
So as an advocate, what reforms or measures would you be advocating to prevent a recurrence of similar corruption incidents?
Well, there are systems already in place in Nigeria, the laws to prevent this kind of fraud and also to punish and prosecute anybody caught in this. And all of these are overridden or they are just ignored. And the governor, who is supposed to be the last step, will say, okay, the court should do what they're supposed to do. EFCC should do their work. ICPC should do their work. But no, he took the other route to defend his aid. And this is what our country has turned into. So there are systems, there are things that will prevent this or solve these problems, but the governor is almost like aiding and abetting this kind of corruption.
Bello, I want to say thank you very much for joining us this afternoon to give us your 2 pence on the issues in Kano State. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mazino.